This ministry content is brought to you by the partners of Foy Ministries.
Scientific studies have found that gratitude leads to greater happiness, lasting relationships, better health, more progress towards your personal goals, more determination than ever. You actually become more generous. You sleep better. It improves your self-esteem. I mean, it pretty much solves everything, doesn't it? Well, that's why success coaches say that gratitude, they call it the key that unlocks all doors. Hey, it's Foy, your cheerleader of dreams. I want to talk about how to start a new chapter in your life in 24 hours. That's it. This is how you start developing a new mindset in one day. And I have a very helpful homework assignment for you that you are going to benefit from so much if you really do it. Do it once a year and it will change your life. I want to tell you a true story, but first, let me tell you about my annual success conference happening next week here in Dallas, Texas. Once a year, I have a Christian success conference where we get down to business. I help you set your goals for the new year the right way. Now, this isn't a huge conference like icing. This is a business conference at a hotel ballroom, more intimate with tables and notebooks, and the goal is to give you the tools to go to the next level in 2025. You will be ready. So if you're ready, just click the link to get registered today, and I would love to see you in person to cheer you on. Okay, true story. This is going to cause you to look at your life a little differently. This is about a lady named Corrie ten Boom, who was a Dutch watchmaker, and she's written some of the most amazing quotes that I love to share. But when she was a little girl, she and her family would hide Jews during the Holocaust. But eventually they were caught, and her family was arrested, sent to prison, and this led to the death of her father. I remember when I was a little girl, my mom read her book, The Hiding Place. Well, Corrie tells the story of her family being transferred to Ravensbrück. That's the infamous death camp in Germany. Well, as they walked into their barracks for the first time, they discovered the place was crawling with fleas. So they slept on these filthy straw, just crammed onto these wooden planks, surrounded by hundreds of other people just right up next to them. Well, these fleas were like mosquitoes crawling all over their beds, if you want to call them beds. Well, Corrie's sister Betsy decided at that very moment to shift everything in her mind. How? Well, she said to follow a verse from the Bible that says, "Be grateful in all things." This is wild. So Betsy encouraged Corrie to say a prayer of gratitude in that very moment, even for the fleas. Isn't this nuts? Well, because of their attitude of gratitude, they even lifted others up through group meetings every single evening. Now, here's the interesting thing. Later on, they learned that the guards would not come into their barracks for one reason. The fleas! The fleas were the very thing that protected them from being abused by the guards, and that's also how they were able to have the group prayer meetings just building each other up. Isn't this wild? Well, eventually Corrie was released due to a clerical error. I believe it was the favor of God. And after she got out, continued ministering to others, housing, protecting disabled people who were afraid during that time. She wrote books, traveled the world. I still quote her today. In fact, one of my favorite Corrie ten Boom quotes is this: "Remember in the dark what God told you in the light." And one more. She said, "Never live according to your eyes, live according to your vision." Aren't those powerful? That's from a woman who was in a concentration camp and watched some of her family die. Well, if you want to shift your entire outlook on life and your results, focus on gratitude. It is one of the most, if not the most, powerful ways to just shift into a state of peace and joy no matter what is happening in your life. You know, they say that gratitude is perhaps the most important key to finding success and happiness. In fact, I have a free download this week that you will love. Now, it's a chapter from my new book, The Alone Advantage, and it's called 5 Reasons Successful People Keep a Gratitude Journal. I want you to have this so you get fully convinced in the power of gratitude and how it affects everything, literally everything in your life. So just click the link in the description, get that free download right now. Now listen to this. Scientific studies have found that gratitude leads to greater happiness, lasting relationships, better health. You move more or you move more progress towards your personal goals, more determination than ever. You actually become more generous. You sleep better. It improves your self-esteem. I mean, it pretty much solves everything, doesn't it? Well, that's why success coaches say that gratitude, they call it the key that unlocks all doors. So there's no downside to practicing gratitude. Why? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. So the more gratitude you express, the more you have to be grateful for. Doesn't that make sense? So here's the homework assignment I want to present to you. Might be a little different than what you thought. So here it is. I want you to ask yourself this very important question. What are some of the highlights of your life from the past year? Like, think back over the past 10 to 12 months and start collecting the highlights. Now, don't do this from your memory because you will not believe how much you have already forgotten. You know, I learned this tip from Mel Robbins, but she said to get out your phone, it's a toy phone, and click on January in your photos or go through your camera roll or pull out your calendar and go through the past 12 months or even look at your Instagram and look at all the highlights there. Trust me, you're going to be shocked by how much you've already forgotten. There were people you had lunch with that you totally forgot about, places you visited, there were trips you took back in March maybe. Like I went to South Africa and France, and that feels like so long ago, but that was this year. There were things you experienced, people you met, maybe a conference you attended, or some big goals that you reached this year, maybe physically or financially, or you paid off some debts. You reached a huge savings goal. You got a new job. Now get your journal or a notebook or even your phone and write it down. Now, why are we doing this? Because you need to remind yourself that your life is greater than you even realize. You know, sometimes we forget the big picture of what all God has done because we get so focused on what hasn't happened yet or on some of the not so pleasant things that happen. In fact, I want you to comment one highlight from this year. What is the first thing that pops into your head as something to be very grateful for this year? Put that in the comments because I want to read them. Now, you may know that this is the year that my precious dad, my hero, the sweetest man in the world, just unexpectedly went to heaven back in April. And that literally knocked the breath out of me. And it could completely overshadow anything else that happened in 2024. And of course, I'm always going to think of him when I think of this year because it is the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life. But to be honest, God has done more in my life this year that has completely overwhelmed me in a good way. This has been a record-breaking year in so many areas of my life. But if I only focus on, magnify, talk about what happened in April, it's going to bring nothing but sadness in my life. In fact, my daughter Cassidy has a note on her phone called Highlights with the year on it. And all year long, she just documents special highlights to stay reminded that even though maybe some of our big dreams haven't happened yet, look what has happened. Well, that's why Dreams and Goals notebooks are so helpful because you can just go through several years and just see the proof that if God did that, why wouldn't He give you what you're believing for? Bottom line is this. You've probably seen my big magnets before, that your mind is like a magnet. And when you're grateful, you simply attract more to be grateful for. But when you complain, guess what you're going to attract? More to complain about. So start attracting abundance, joy, faith, optimism, success by just magnifying what God has already done in your life. And don't just think it, ink it, right? Write it down. So if you want to start a new chapter in your life, start focusing on the good that is happening. Get a pen, get your notes on your phone, or get a gratitude journal. Start writing your highlights of this year, starting with January. Write something for every month. You've heard me say, a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles, right? Well, the Bible says it like this. Enter into His gates with thanksgiving and into His courts with praise. Be thankful and say so. So no matter where you are in life, you have something to be grateful for. And as soon as you recognize it, you express it, your life will start to improve. So start today with your list. Get the free download to help you make this shift by understanding why successful people keep a gratitude journal. So just click the link in the description and remember, I am cheering you on to live your dreams.
Get ready for transformation. Make plans now to attend the 2024 Next Conference with your host, Teresa Foy, success coach to hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. With special guests, Bob Bodine, author of The Power of Who, and Phil Cook, renowned marketing and media expert. Something special happens when you take action to invest in yourself in an atmosphere of faith and expectation. And this is your opportunity to gain the knowledge, relationships, resources, and clarity to make those big goals a reality. Don't delay. Get your tickets now to the premier Christian Success Conference. It's 2 life-changing days of inspirational, practical, and biblical success teachings designed to take your life, ministry, or business to the next level. And it's all happening November 15th and 16th in Dallas, Texas. So head over to terry.com to get your tickets today.